Hello and welcome back to World Traveler Wednesday. My name is Miss Rosie, and today we are going to be going to a country that is currently celebrating a very special holiday. Some of you might also be celebrating this holiday, so don't forget to take out your World Traveler Wednesday folders, grab your passports, and let's get started. So today we are traveling to China. China is located in the eastern parts of Asia and is the largest country that is entirely situated inside of Asia. China borders 14 countries: Russia, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Bhutan, Nepal, Myanmar, which is formerly called Burma, Laos, Vietnam, and North Korea. China's landscapes vary significantly across its vast width of the country. In the east, along the shores of the Yellow Sea and the East China Sea, there are sizable and densely populated alluvial plains, while on the edges of the Inner Mongolian Plateau in the north, there are mostly broad grasslands. Southern China is dominated by hills and low mountain ranges, while the Central East is home to the deltas of China's two major rivers. To the west, there are major mountain ranges, most notably the Himalayas. We'll go over a few more in another slide. High plateaus are found among the drier landscapes of the north, such as the Gobi Desert. The world's highest point, Mount Everest, lies on the Sino-Nepalese border. The country's lowest point and the world's third lowest is the dried lake bed of Iding Lake, which is 154 meters below sea level, and it is located in the Turpan Depression. China has many mountains, with mountainous areas making up 1/3 of its total area. China has 7 of the world's 12 mountain peaks that are over 8,000 meters above sea level. The well-known mountain ranges in China are, as I just said, the Himalayas, the Kunlun Mountains, the Tian Shan Mountains, the Qingling Mountains, the Hingan Mountains, the Taihang Mountains, the Kelan Mountains, and the Hengduin Mountains. The Yangtze and Yellow Rivers, the third and the sixth longest in the world, run from the Tibetan Plateau to the densely populated eastern seaboard of China. Other major rivers include the Xi, Mekong, Brahmaputra, and the Amur. China's climate is mainly dominated by dry seasons and wet monsoons, which lead to pronounced temperature differences between winter and summer. In the winter, northern winds coming from high latitude areas are cold and dry. In the summer, southern winds from coastal areas at lower latitudes are warm and moist. The climate in China differs from region to region because of the country's highly complex topography, which, if we minimize our screen right now and quickly go over to the internet, topography is the arrangement of the natural and artificial physical features of an area. Covering parts of northern and northwestern China, the Gobi Desert is the 5th largest desert in the world. It measures more than 1,000 miles from southwest to northeast and 500 miles from north to south. Although there are spectacular sandy peaks, the majority of the Gobi Desert is exposed rock. Unusually, the Gobi is a very cold desert, seeing frost and occasionally a dusting of snow on its dunes. Did you know that some of the world's first fossilized dinosaur egg discoveries were made in the Gobi Desert? The soaring sandstone peaks of the Zhangjiaga National Forest Park were used as inspiration for the Hallelujah Mountains in the 2009 blockbuster movie Avatar. This remarkable landscape was declared China's first ever national forest park in 1982. With some 3,000 towering pillars, each hundreds of feet tall and covered in a lush green foliage, the Zhangjiaga National Forest Park was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992. Alpine pastures and lush meadows form part of China's grasslands, which cover 41% of the nation's land area. Due to the great ecological variety, the use of grassland isn't limited to grazing for farm animals or foraging. It is also used to harvest forest byproducts and mineral resources. Due to China's sheer size, its proportion of grasslands is actually the second largest in the world. The Hulan-Bular grassland in the Inner Mongolian region covers roughly 96,525 square miles, which is about the same size as the United Kingdom. Home to the world's highest peak of Mount Everest, sitting at 8,848 meters in the peaceful Iding Lake, which, as I told you in a previous slide, sits at 154 meters below sea level, China has the greatest altitude difference on Earth. In fact, the country is full of fascinating highs and lows. For example, the Zhangjiaga Grand Canyon has the world's highest and longest glass bridge running across the canyon for about 430 meters at 300 meters in the air. Did you know that China has the world's longest sea crossing bridge? The Hong Kong to Zhuhai Macau Bridge was opened to traffic in October of 2018. The Great Wall of China is an ancient wall located inside of China. The wall is made of cement, rocks, bricks, and powdered dirt. It was finished in 1878, and it was meant to protect the north of the Empire of China from enemy attacks. It is the longest structure that humans have ever built. It is about 13,171 miles long, 30 feet wide, and about 50 feet high. The earlier sections on the wall are made of compacted dirt and stone, and later on during the Ming Dynasty, they actually used bricks to finish it. In a population of roughly 1.4 billion people, China has 302 individual living languages. To put that in perspective globally, a whopping 20% of the world's population speaks some form of a Chinese language natively. Linguists have divided Chinese into 8 to 10 main language groups, with each group having several subdialects. Chances are that anyone coming from outside of Beijing is bound to speak at least one of these local dialects. The most widely spoken form of Chinese is Mandarin. With over 955 million speakers in China alone, it should come as no surprise that it is also the most spoken language worldwide. There are many dialects within Mandarin, and the variant is often split into 4 subgroups: Northern Mandarin, Northwestern Mandarin, Southwestern Mandarin, and Southern Mandarin. The other languages spoken in China are Standard Chinese, Cantonese, Gan, Hakka, Min, Wu, and Jiang. As one of the world's most ancient civilizations, China is rich in traditions and unique customs. China is often considered the longest continuous civilization, with some historians marking 6000 BC as the beginning of Chinese civilization. Chinese history is all about dynasties. Each dynasty shows a period when a certain line of emperors ruled. The very first empire was the Qin dynasty and began in 221 BC. Arts and crafts have a long history in China. Thousands of years ago, the Chinese were some of the first people to use silk, jade, bronze, wood, and paper to make art. They invented many things, including paper, the magnetic compass, printing, porcelain, silk, and gunpowder. The artistic writing called calligraphy was also invented in China. China is the origin of Eastern martial arts called Kung Fu, or its first name, Wushu. China is also the home of the well-respected Spa Monastery in Wudong Mountains. Martial art started more for the purpose of survival, defense, and warfare other than art. China has many traditional festivals, such as Dragon Boat Festival, Mid-Autumn Festival, and so on. The most significant, though, is the Chinese New Year. The Dragon Boat Festival is a festival originating from ancient China. It commemorates Chu Yuan, a writer and government leader who lived a long time ago and died because he loved his country very much. The Dragon Boat Festival is always on the 5th day of the 5th month of China's old calendar, but because that calendar is based on changes in the moon and not the sun, it is not always on the same day of the new calendar. The old calendar adds a 13th month when it is very different from the seasons, though, so the festival is always in late spring. The Mid-Autumn Festival, also known as the Moon Festival, is a harvest celebration that takes place with the full moon that falls on the 15th day of the 8th month of the Chinese lunar calendar, so typically in September or October. It is celebrated in China and other East Asian countries such as Singapore and Vietnam. The traditions of the festival focus around the full moon, which the Chinese believe is a symbol of reunion and happiness. Families gather for a reunion dinner or picnic that consists of many round foods symbolizing the moon, including eggs and pomelos. Tea is served in round cups. The most popular food eaten during the festival is the mooncake, a round pastry with molded designs on top and traditionally filled with lotus seed or sweet bean paste. The Chinese New Year, also known as Spring Festival or Lunar New Year, is a holiday on and around the new moon on the first day of the year in the traditional Chinese calendar. The calendar is based on the changes in the moon and is only sometimes changed to fit the seasons of the year based on how the Earth moves around the sun. Because of this, Chinese New Year is never on January 1st. It moves around between January 21st and February 20th. The Chinese New Year is of the most important holidays for Chinese people all over the world. Its 7th day used to be used instead of birthdays to count people's ages in China. The holiday is still used to tell people which animal of the Chinese zodiac they are a part of. The Chinese calendar is about 1 month behind our so-called Gregorian calendar, as it has between 30 and 50 more days per year. And the Chinese Zodiac calendar has a cycle of 12 years. The calendar was started on astronomical observations of the moon's phases. So each year, a Chinese zodiac animal is a symbol for the entire year. The 12 Chinese zodiac animals are rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. I was born during the year of the pig. And this year, it is going to be the year of the ox. So 2021 is the year of the ox. This important date on the Chinese calendar has been celebrated for many centuries. During the festivities, ancestors are honored and traditional ceremonies are held where people get together and welcome the new year with customs that shall bring good luck, good fortune, wealth, prosperity, and happiness. The Spring Festival festivities for the new year take 15 days in most countries. The new year is often celebrated with dragon dances, lion dances, gift exchanging, and fireworks. It ends typically with the Lantern Festival on the 15th day of the first calendar month. Family is the basis of the Chinese society, which is seen through the significance placed on the New Year's Eve dinner or reunion dinner. Chinese New Year food traditions are hugely symbolic. Traditions include serving 2 whole fish, and serving one for leftovers to represent surplus in the new year, serving a whole chicken to represent wholeness and prosperity, and serving items like spring rolls, which resemble gold bars and symbolize wealth. Speaking of food, you probably know that the Chinese food from your to-go takeout spot isn't traditional Chinese food, right? It's heavily Americanized, though tasty in its own way. Being the world's most populous country, Chinese has a highly diverse, authentic cuisine that is vastly different from one region to another. Chinese cuisines are an important part of Chinese culture, which includes cuisines originating from the diverse regions of China, as well as from overseas Chinese who have settled in other parts of the world. Chinese food staples such as rice, soy sauce, noodles, tea, chili oil, and tofu, and utensils such as chopsticks and the wok can be found worldwide. Tofu is made of soybeans and is another popular food product that supplies protein. Other products such as soy milk, soy paste, soy oil, and fermented soy sauce are also important in Chinese cooking. Stinky tofu is a form of fermented tofu. Hard stinky tofu is often deep fried and paired with soy sauce or salty spice. Soft stinky tofu are usually used as a spread on steamed buns. And dufuru is another type of fermented tofu that has a salty taste. Apart from vegetables that can be commonly seen, some unique vegetables used in Chinese cuisine include baby corn, bok choy, snow peas, Chinese eggplant, Chinese broccoli, and straw mushrooms. Other vegetables, including bean sprouts, pea vine tips, watercress, lotus roots, chestnuts, water chestnuts, and bamboo shoots are also used in different cuisines of China. A variety of dried or pickled vegetables are also processed, especially in drier or colder regions where fresh vegetables are hard to get out of season. Seasonings such as fresh ginger root, garlic, scallion, cilantro, and sesame are widely used. Sichuan peppercorns, star anise, cinnamon, fennel, cloves, and white peppers are also used in different regions. To add extra flavor to the dishes, many Chinese cuisines also contain dried Chinese mushrooms, dried baby shrimp, dried tangerine peel, and dried Sichuan chilies. For sauces, China is home to the soy sauce, which is made from fermented soybeans and wheat. There are also different sauces preferred by regional cuisines such as oyster sauce, fish sauce, and furu, which is fermented tofu, and vinegar also has a variety of different flavors. Dumplings consist of minced meat and chopped vegetables wrapped in a thin dough skin. With a long history of more than 1,800 years, dumplings are a traditional food widely popular in North China. Popular fillings are minced pork, diced shrimp, ground chicken, beef, and vegetables. They can be cooked by boiling, steaming, or frying. Dim sum is a Cantonese style of steamed dumpling prepared in small, almost bite-sized portions. In the United States, the term dim sum has generalized to also refer to a style of eating or restaurant experience in which small plates of Chinese cuisine are presented on mobile carts. Dim sum is generally presented and eaten family style, meaning that the small plates are shared amongst the table, and because of the small portions, diners are able to try a variety of dishes. The typical dim sum menu will include various types of steamed buns, rice noodle rolls, and dumplings, all of which will include a range of fillings and ingredients from pork to prawns and chicken to vegetables. Peking roasted duck is a famous dish from Beijing, and it is world famous and considered as one of China's national dishes. Peking duck is favored for its thin and crispy skin. The sliced Peking duck is often eaten with pancakes, sweet bean sauce, or soy with mashed garlic. Ma Pao tofu is one of the most famous dishes in Sichuan cuisine with a history of more than 100 years. Ma refers to a spicy and hot taste which comes from pepper powder, one kind of condiment used in Sichuan cuisine. Thank you for traveling to China this week with me. And again, happy Lunar New Year for those of you who are celebrating it. And make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss any video that we put out. And make sure to keep commenting on any video so that you are able to be entered into the weekly drawing for a special sun prize. I will see you all next week for another World Traveler Wednesday.